am here at the Calliope Games booth at Gen Con 50 with one of our favorites, Rey Wehrs. Rey, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure always. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, we've got a couple more Titans releases.
Three more Titans releases.
Three more. We left off last year. We had the Richard Garfield. What was that called? The trivia game?
Yeah, Hive Mind.
Hive Mind. So we had Hive Mind. And now we're moving on to 3 releases all at once.
So to be fair, last year was also 3 releases.
Oh, right? Really?
So
what were the other ones?
Hive Mind was the first by Richard Garfield. Yeah. Right? Then we had Running with the Bulls by Paul Peterson.
I remember that.
Which is also a Titan series game. Right? And then the third game that we had, Menu Masters.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
By Zach and Jordan Weissman. Right? So that's the first year of the Titan series.
Is that how you're intending to do it, is 3 at a time every year?
Yeah, that's the intent, right? Cool. So we'll do 3 games every year for 4 years for a total of 12 games. So we get to do this 2 more years after this. 2 more years.
Well, how's it going? What's the general reaction to the Titan series at this point?
Oh, it's excellent. It's excellent. So when you play the games, the quality of the experience that you get out of them is just exceptional. And come on, they're the world's best game designers, so we wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
And we're making sure that we're putting all the quality in the box. So when you spend the $30 for the game itself, the value is it's worth every penny, right?
So tell me this: is there going to be a point in time where I can buy all 12 of these games all at once in some kind of a Master Titans pack?
You know, I'll never say never.
God, I would love that. How cool would that be to have that on a shelf and just...
Well, so, and one of the things that we did for our backers, right, one of the benefits of actually backing that Kickstarter was that we put alternate covers on them. So there's actually a bookshelf feel to the set when you put it all together, right?
I remember seeing that on the Kickstarter.
It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful.
Well, let's talk about the 3 games, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
That are coming out.
The first game we have going on here is Ancestry.
Ancestry. Now this is Eric Lang.
This is done by Eric Lang.
Another one of our favorites.
And the game was the artwork was done by our friend Larry Elmore, which you'll remember from Magic the Gathering.
Absolutely.
A bunch of RPG stuff, right? So we actually really pushed Larry into a style of art that when he started, he's like, "Oh yeah, this will be fun. I'm doing it, right?" I think at the end of the project, he hated me, but he loved the output when it was done, right? So
awesome.
He was like, "Yeah, this is really good. It's really good." But the whole time we were doing it, I don't know, you're driving me nuts. You know? So it was really fun. But he was an awesome guy to work with, and I got to tell you, the skill level that guy has is just exceptional.
Well, I'm seeing the result right here on the box.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a gorgeous-looking box, honestly.
And so that is actually due to Heidi Zimmerman. So Heidi took Larry's line art, and she colored it, and then did all the layout for the game, right?
Wow.
And so she did a spectacular job on that side. So there's been a lot of hands to get this product to where it's at.
A lot of very talented hands to get this.
That's a fact.
So what do you do in this game?
So here, the tagline for this game is my family is better than yours. All right, and it's that simple. I'm going to prove it. Okay, so we're down in the archives of the Natural History Museum, right?
Okay.
And we're going to prove our lineage, right? And so what we're doing is this is a drafting game, and you're going to draft tiles. You're going to start out with 6 tiles, and we're going to grab one of the tiles out of them after we looked at them, deciding which one we want, and then we're going to pass the pile to the left, like a normal drafting game. But simultaneously, we're going to reveal the tile that we pulled out.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody gets to see it at the same time. Yeah. All right. So what we're trying to do here is a number of things. One, we want to build marriages. Okay, so are the hearts. Okay. So when you're
the hearts between the cards.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make nice marriages. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is on the top here, right? The heart is split in half. Okay. And when the 2 tiles come together, you have a full heart. So that's one way to score. Right.
Yeah.
So you're building marriages, or sometimes it's just really good, strong relationships. Okay. On the other hand, we also have generations. So the tiles can only hook up under 2 different means, right? One is by hooking up the leaves, right?
That looks so cool.
And then the other ones are the hearts. So the tiles will only match in 2 different places, right?
Yeah.
But you have to match them in one of those 2 spots.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, as you're building, There's 5 different families, okay? And what you're trying to do is match the colors or the icons that are with them, right? When you do that, that represents a generation. So here we have 2 generations of purple.
Cool.
Okay? So any one tile that stands by itself, that's a single generation. Okay? What we do is we're going to play 3 rounds, right? And at each round, the point value for the generation becomes more and more. Okay?
Yeah.
So round 1, each generation is worth 1 point if you beat the player to your left or the player to your right. So you're only playing again, comparing against player left to your left and right. Okay.
I love those kinds of games.
Yeah. So, and then you got to do that 3 times, right? But in between each round, right, you're counting up again your generations, but you're also paying attention to your cash, your money, right? And so you're collecting coins, which is going to be shown here in your purse, right? So after every round, you get to count up your wealth. So again, it's my family's better than yours. I also happen to be wealthier than you, okay?
So maybe sometimes a marriage is worth getting that rich ancestor in rather than the true love or other kinds of things.
And this is back in the 1700s, 1600s, right? I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff going on back then. Yeah, it's done behind doors, all right? So, hey, look, you want to give me some wealth? I'm in, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go. And then at the end of 3 rounds, okay, down at the bottom of the score chart, there's actually a bunch of marriage hearts there.
Yeah.
And for each heart that you have, you get progressively more points. So the more relationships you have within your family tree, the more points that you're going to get, the more wealth that you're going to get, and obviously the generations stacked on top of each other.
Very cool. How long does a game like this play?
20 to 40 minutes.
That's the money spot right there.
And here's the thing, right? You talk about value in the game. There's over 110 tiles in there. There's over 200 tokens in this game.
Wow.
Right? And the 6 scoring boards. And it's $30.
That's so cool.
So
and
that's Ancestry.
I truly can't stress how good it looks, and especially as you're laying these tiles out as they're going along, just actually seeing a family come together, that's really cool.
And so the expressions on the characters too, right?
Yeah.
You can start telling the story about your heritage, and it's so much fun when you start looking at it and you're like, oh, wait a second, look at this guy scheming over here, right? It's really kind of neat.
Very cool. All right, so there's your Eric Lang one. What else you got?
So what else do we have? You ever hear of a gentleman by the name of Michael Elliott?
Absolutely. A totally different style on this one as well.
Very different. So this art here is a little bit darker than what the art will be on the actual box, but that's only because of the mock-up and the rice paper that we use, so the paper actually sunk in.
Makes sense, yeah.
So it'll be a little bit brighter on the shelf, right? But this is the actual art. And in this game, we are photographers back in 1932. All right?
Who wouldn't want to be?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We're freelance photographers, so we're beating the street pretty hard. But in 1932, there's a situation going on in Europe where fairies are starting to pop up everywhere. And
this really happened?
This really happened, and there's black and white photographs out there. Google it now, check it out. Fairies, 1932
There are
in Europe,
actually fairies going on back then?
Fairies, wings and everything, right? So they're picking them up.
How had nobody told me about this?
It's all true. It's all true. So they go, well, we're in the United States, right?
Right.
And we're not to be outdone by our European friends. It's just not going to happen. We got bigger, we got better, everything that we're doing, right? And so that's the attitude. And our tabloids are going to prove it. They're going to hire us as freelance photographers, and we're going to travel all over the country following tips and then taking photographs of these creatures.
Wow.
Right? And then we have 8 days to return to the office and actually get the stuff published. So that's what.
So you're just walking around trying to get the craziest pictures that you can. Basically.
Yeah. Well, so what happens here?
Look at that.
Is here's the country, right? And then everybody gets a secret assignment card, right? And you're also going to start the game with a set of tips that the tabloids gave you, telling you where to go to actually find the creatures, okay? So you're going to use these tip cards to actually find the photographs and take them. Now, the photographs have different qualities in them. And it's like anything else, if it's really dark and you're taking a picture, you might not get that clear shot, right? But you know, I mean, you've seen those UFO pictures, right?
Yeah.
In the dark, and those are real, right?
Yes.
I mean, they're absolutely real.
Yeah.
So well, there's nothing different here. It's absolute fact, right? And so then we have the second quality of photo, which is the movement one. So you got a real clear blur, right? Yeah. And it's perfect. It's ready to go, right? And then your perfect shot, the absolute pristine shot, right? That's our third quality, right? So those are the three qualities of photographs that you're actually chasing down. On your secret assignment card, you have each of the different characters there, silhouettes of the characters. And so you're running around trying to collect those silhouettes. When you flip over the tile, it actually has the photograph and the quality that's there. You're trying to meet or exceed the quality value that was assigned to you by the tabloid.
Nice,
right?
yeah.
Now, we are freelance photographers, right? We don't need to be paid from just one organization. Look, if somebody wants to give us cash, we're willing to take it. And that portfolio we're putting together, I'm cashing out on that puppy, all right? So that's just all there is to it. So up on the top here, right, what we have is side goals, right? So depending on what you put into your portfolio, you might be able to sell it to another tabloid because we are straight up good citizens and we want to make some cash, all right? So chuck it over, right? And here it is, the guy with the most money.
Very cool, very cool. That's a great concept.
So much fun.
How long does this one take? 20 to?
Again, you're looking at probably about 40 to 50 minutes on this one, right? It's a $30 game, right? So a lot of value that's packed into this game, right?
Very cool.
So here's the other thing about the games, right? So both the games we've talked about so far, they'll sit 2 to 6 players, okay? For me, and I love to play family-style games, okay? Just I don't want to play anything that's going to bust my brain too much, right?
Yeah.
But I want to be able to be challenged a little bit, but at the same time, I want to be able to hold that conversation and enjoy the people that I'm sitting down with, right?
Yeah.
So all the Calliope games do that, right? There's a game out there called Jaipur. I don't know if you've ever played it, but
I've heard of it.
In my humble opinion, it's probably one of the best 2-player games out there, right? Until Shutterbug, right? Now Shutterbug comes along, right? And as a 2-player game, this thing just rocks the house, okay?
Really?
Yeah, and so what happens is instead of actually just having one photographer, you have 2 pawns. So you have the same number of options during the game, but you're splitting them between 2 pawns. And so it actually brings in a whole new concept and relationship to the game that makes it a little bit more challenging and fun.
That's fantastic.
So 2-player Shutterbug is awesome.
All right, and this is the new standard in 2-player games. I mean,
This is it.
All right.
And the cool thing about it is you can play up to 6 players, right? So you got it both ways.
What's the last one here?
Last one,
Oh,
James Ernest. The good, the bad, and the no. Here.
Look at that.
And so James Ernest, he is the good, he is the bad, and he's also very. No, I didn't say that. That's not true.
You didn't hear it from us.
Yeah. The guy is awesome, right? But so this game is probably the most complex game we'll ever do.
Oh.
And that being said, it's simple.
Yeah.
All right. It's really simple. It's a great game.
Man, we can just pull all of these quotes out and get you like 5-second teasers for Calliope Games.
We're in. We're in. Do it. So, in Capital City, all right, we are capitalists, right?
Yeah.
And all of our friends and family are out in the east. And we are moving out in the west, and we're going to settle the city, right? And so there's Main Street, and we are going to develop Main Street and hire our family and friends from the east. So in order to do this, we're going to have to buy tickets, put them on a train,
you gotta get them out there. Yeah.
Right? Then we have to put them to work, right? And then once we get them to work, hopefully we'll be able to get paid, right? I mean, that's the ultimate object. So, but with this particular game, what we really want to do is gain prestige, because we're trying not only to be profitable at the buildings that we're building, right?
Yeah.
But we want to be mayor of the town.
Absolutely.
All right? So the guy with the most victory points or prestige actually wins. So in Capital City, you have 2 things here. You have cash, right? And then you have prestige or gold, okay? Cash you must have to play, right, to buy and to earn and to do things you need to do.
Yeah.
But the game is actually cashed out with victory points. Now, when you build a building, down here in the corner, you'll see an option of cash or victory points.
Yeah.
All right? So it will produce one or the other. It's not going to produce both.
Right.
All right? So what happens here is we have an auction that's going to take place for priority order.
Okay.
Okay?
First choice at
First
something,
choice
yeah.
at something, right? And it's a push auction. So if there's 4 of us playing, right, there'll be 4 of these priority cards. And it'll go 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Nice.
Now we start out the game with only $10, right? I mean, it's just like any other bootstrapped company. You don't have a lot of money, man. Right? So, but we're gonna make it, and we're gonna make it big.
That's right.
So, but in the auction, you're actually bidding for your seats on the train. Okay.
Okay.
And so the first player will bid, the second player will bid, right? Third player may bid, may come back to the fourth player. Fourth player may say, you know what? I only have $10 in my bank.
I don't want to spend it all on the first ticket.
No way.
No way.
There's $3 sitting there on that ticket. I'm going to cash out. So he grabs the $3 and the priority card that goes with it. So he's actually last in priority. And then the bid starts over again.
That's fascinating. Cool.
Right? So now as the bid process happens, people are going to be spending more of their money trying to get to that first position.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, there's a real advantage of being first, okay? But it's expensive. So the advantage of being first is that when that train is loaded up with all your relatives and your kinfolk, right?
Yep.
You get to choose first from the kin, right? In addition to that, off of Main Street, you have to put them to work, but you're going to have to buy the buildings. So the buildings are down in Main Street here, right? And so you're going to purchase those based off the deed price. Once you actually purchase the building, then you can actually put your kinfolk to work.
Okay.
All right? But that happens in reverse priority. So that guy that actually grabbed the money and took that last position, he's going to get to go first and build. All right? So when he's building, what he's trying to do is match up the symbols on the kinfolk with the card, right? Once the building is fully staffed, then the card will actually produce, right?
Yeah,
and it produces either cash or it produces the gold, the victory point tokens.
Yep.
Now here's where it really becomes fun, all right? And all that's
so
really
already
good.
none of that's any fun. Yeah.
No, it's good stuff, man, right? But this is where it really gets cool. So as people are building up their blocks on Main Street, right? So each one of us have a separate block. Remember, all of us are kind of related, you know? And so the colors are the relationships between the families, all right? So when you play and you build and put somebody to work in your block, and you have a relative in somebody else's block, you're actually going to fire that other person's building. And it's going to produce either money or gold. So you have to be very careful in what you're pulling off the train to make sure that you're putting yourself to work, but more than what you're doing with everybody else. Right?
Wow, yeah. Totally see that.
Awesome game. Beautiful art, right?
Yeah.
It's $20. And again, it's a double deck game, right? Over 200 tokens in the game. A lot of value.
Very
That's
cool.
the Titan series.
Right, so this seems like obviously the kind of Calliope calling card, right? You're doing these high value games, lower price points, really trying to get everybody involved at the table. What else is in the future for Calliope? What's the next 5 years look like for you guys?
So I think the next 5 years looks, so 2 years, right? Coming back up. The Titan series is actually a 4-year plan.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got another 2 years, right? 6 more games before this thing is actually complete.
Yeah.
So you get to do this 2 years.
2 more years.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
And then we'll keep doing it after that. But we also have other projects going on, right?
Yeah.
So actually in November, you can look for our next project, which is going to be the Mansky Caper. And it's a game where we are all mobsters, right?
Yeah.
The mob boss is out on vacation and he's done us wrong, right? So we're going to get back at him. And we're going to break into his mansion, which he's booby-trapped, right? But who are we? We don't know that, right? We're going to break into these safes, right? And so we're trying to to rob them, right? And without getting blown up.
Yeah, well, that seems like a
ton of fun.
Good idea. I heard that Tsuro, by the way, I had somebody talking to me last night, said that easily it should be as big as Catan. You got any plans to do that?
From your lips to God's ears, okay? So I would love for that to happen, right? We can't control what the market does. All we can do is actually provide a good entertainment experience at a price that somebody can afford. The reality is, we make the game so that the entire family can play and compete. So a child that's as young as 8 can read the rules, play the games without mom and dad being around. But when mom and dad are actually around, they can play and compete against them without mom and dad actually throwing the game, right? Yeah. Which means dad, instead of telling the kids to go back, he just got his ass kicked. He said, "You're not going to bed until I beat you in this game." All right, that's it. You have to stay up, right? So the kids are loving it, right? So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, it definitely seems like you're doing a great job based on everything that's going on behind me.
Well, thank you.
So Ray, keep it up. Cheers. It's Rey Wehrs
Calliope
Games. Look out for more from the Titan series, these 3, and of course 6 more to come, and everything else from Calliope Games, and maybe Tsuro becoming the next great hit in the world.
Next great hit. It's already a great hit. Just 5 more. We'll do it. It's good. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Of course, you can find more videos just like this on our YouTube channel. Also, if you'd like to be one of the first to know anytime we're posting new content, you can subscribe on YouTube or follow us on one of our various social media accounts. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep playing.